Hey everybody, hope you're doing well. I like to do I guess a Q&A on Sunday because sometimes I get asked some good questions and I'll respond in the comments, but I want to go like a little more in depth and I actually want to share some of the information I'm talking about with everybody because I think it could be a potential benefit. And a couple of things I was asked about, like hardware wallets for your Bitcoin, credit cards for it, and I personally don't have a hardware wallet. Um, or like a cold storage wallet, I guess you call it. Basically, just taking your Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, whatever you have, and taking it off your computer completely to like on like a little like a USB stick, and then just have that USB stick, and that's basically your wallet. So I currently don't have anything like that, but in the future I will definitely be doing something like that because the more you accumulate, like Bitcoin and everything like that, the more valuable it's going to be, and the more potential of losing it that's it's going to be a hindrance to you. So in the past, there has been hacking where people have lost their coins, but it's because people hacked the exchanges that they were on. As far as I've seen and heard, no, I haven't heard anyone actually hack into someone's specific wallet. So you have it if in a specific wallet that doesn't have appeared to happen yet. But if you want to take a step beyond that and get a hardware wallet or a cold storage wallet, you basically have a password and you'll have keys, and the keys will basically be a phrase like, on Mondays I like to go shopping at Target, and like that's your password. So that's kind of how that works. So as long as you know that phrase, you can get into it no problem. So it's definitely a better route to go. It's a much safer route to go. Like I said, I want to go that way in the future, but for right now, I'm just going to keep changing or keep trading on the Coinbase exchange, and then down the road a little bit, I'm going to get that the hardware wallet. One that I'm looking at is Trezor, which seems like a popular one. My only concern is I think it only holds Bitcoin, so I'd prefer to have one wallet that can hold my Litecoin, Ethereum, and Bitcoin. So I prefer not to have separate hardware wallets. I just want to have like one just to make it easy. But I haven't looked too far into it yet to see if there is one capable of that, and then how good the security is on it. Some of the security on some of the devices are okay, and some are better. And even the device itself, like the Trezor, I've seen people like drop it off roofs and stuff like that, and it lands and like nothing's wrong with it. It's totally okay. And I've seen a couple others dropped off a roof, or whatever, and it got a little damaged. So not only is it more secure because it's offline, it's also like in a hardened case. So if anything happens to that case, that digital screen that's on it or anything, or the inside wire or anything like that, so it's always good to have that out. But I'm definitely going to go that route. And then another thing, if you were asking about, which I'm actually going to do, is credit cards. So one of the credit cards, for example, is like BitPay. You can basically use your Bitcoin, and it'll be a Visa card. So basically, anywhere Visa is accepted, you can use your Bitcoin to pay. You just put your Bitcoin into your credit card's account, and then when you go to swipe, it'll transfer the money out of it. So I'm going to do that because that's another good way to save my personal money. Because like I said in other videos, I'm going to be like day trading, so I'm trying to cut back on my expenditures by a lot. So using Bitcoin and the interest I've gained from it, that I don't have to pay like the capital gains on it, I could just swipe all day and make a little bit of, or make some good purchases that way. So I'm gonna probably go with BitPay card. I don't want to go with that card. The reason why I'm choosing that one is just because that's the most known one that I've heard about. There's another one called Monaco, which I don't know when it comes out, but it could hold, or it could spend both your Bitcoin and your Ethereum, and supposedly you can do it across 120 different countries, and they only charge a 1% transaction fee, and that handles the exchange fee, so you don't have to do wire transfers, currency exchange from like US dollar to the euro or anything like that. So it handles all of it. So that one card, I mean, like, you could go anywhere in the world and just need your like that. You just need that credit card, your passport, and like your cell phone, and like that's it. That's all you need, you know. So having that kind of power is really nice. Having that open border capability to go anywhere and purchase what you want, you know, is really nice. So that's something I would like to get, but I don't know when that card comes out. I think the ICO just launched for it, which is the initial coin offering. It's kind of like an IPO where a new stock comes out. Um, but I'm going to be looking forward to that. But that'll be maybe in the next couple weeks or something like that. We'll see. But the hardware wallet will probably be a little bit farther down the road. I don't know, because after the whole let's talk about my other video, but when Trump came out and talked about the coming out of the Paris Accord agreement, gold stocks jumped up, and then Bitcoin jumped up. So Bitcoin was kind of going sideways for a little bit. It was consolidating after it had that steep drop, and then like the next day, the next day after Trump had come out and said that, Bitcoin went up, and then the gold market went up. So people are obviously concerned. Whenever time gold comes up, you know, it's because people are concerned about something. But what I found interesting about that is because France's president Macron, he he gave a speech and he talked, and he was like basically talking to like the U.S., the citizens, you know, like, you know, come join us, you know, we're going to continue this agreement, we're going to honor it, you know, we're going to take care of everything, that kind of thing, sounding all like polite and nice. And then Germany blasted Trump, or so he blasted Trump about it. Germany blasted Trump about it. Trudeau blasted Trump about it. Mexico did the same. You know, a lot of countries are like, you know, speaking up about it right now. And I'm watching like news sources from other countries, so like I'm seeing what they're saying about it, and then I'm seeing what our country's saying about it. And our country's more talking about just what we're saying, but other countries, their leaders are like saying stuff about it. So it's kind of pushing the United States away from this agreement that originally, you know, 196 countries signed, and now it's 195. So now the United States is potentially going to be part of only 3 countries that are not part of this agreement, which are Syria and I think Nicaragua. So I don't know why, but the stock market did rally on Friday with that news because, you know, I am, at least in my opinion, the sentiment is the majority of the wealthier population, they don't want to do anything with that agreement because it's going to cut away from oil production. It's going to cut away from like steel production. It's going to cut away from like some of the major sectors that we make money. But in turn, going towards alternative energy would, in the long run, like bring us into like the next age, like the renewable age. Like right now, we're in the technology age, and if we were like to be able to harness like solar panels better, wind energy, nuclear energy, geothermal, hydroelectric power, all that stuff, if we could harness all that power, we'd be in a renewable age where the cost of living would be so cheap it practically would be free, because you could have solar panels run your electricity for your house 24/7, because they can hold a charge very well, and you know, you could have a water desalination or a hydro plant coming for the in water, giving you power and clean water. You know, there's a bunch of different things. If there were more nuclear factories, you know, they could, like, I think like 20% of the United States power is run on nuclear factories, and there's only a handful of them. You know, if we had a few more, we could power a lot more. But you know, that's obviously an argument people have. You know, it's a touchy subject. But I just thought the fact that all the other leaders are coming out and talking about it now, and then the fact that gold's kind of taking this little run up now, which I think I'm going to look into gold on Monday when I day trade, so I'm going to look at some gold stocks. But for the most part, like, and it didn't just stop on Thursday. Like Friday, people talking about it. Saturday, people talking about it. Today, people talking about it. Next week, I'm sure people are going to be talking about it. So it's a big deal. So I think gold's going to be in play for the market for a little bit. That would be interesting to see. And then with that, China and the EU are, I guess, working on we're going to start working closer together. And then China's also working on having their Silk Road, basically trade route to connect countries. So basically do trade and imports and stuff like that, which is kind of a big deal because like Europe and Asia, like those two parts of the continents, are like right next to each other. So having a trade route, wouldn't be that difficult. It's not like from the United States to Europe where we got to cross an ocean. They're already on land and they can just take trains. If they just have a train run from route to route or whatever, they can move stuff around a lot easier and it'd be a lot cheaper. So that's kind of a big deal. And having Trump walk away from this accord agreement is only going to further these other countries from getting involved in their own deals that the United States won't be a part of. So that could be a bit of a disastrous situation for us, for our economy, our personal economy in the U.S. But globally, those two continents and all the countries within are going to be more connected, and then they're going to have better trade for their side. So you could see like the currencies change, like the U.S. dollar and the euro and the British pound and all that fluctuate. The yuan and all that. But us losing out on all these deals, the Paris Accord was basically a trade deal, like everybody working together to lower by 2 degrees the temperature by doing renewables and stuff like that. So having more, like right now, like the cost of solar and stuff like that is actually cheaper than like gas extraction and all that, or oil extraction. So we would have increased that, and there's already more jobs in solar than there are other factories, because oil, when you put in like the pipelines, you make a lot of jobs when you're building the pipeline, but once the pipeline's up, it only takes like a few people to maintain it. Solar, you're constantly building those solar panels. And right now, China is kind of like the big solar panel distributor, and because the United States is like choosing not to put as much time and money and effort into it. So we're going to lose out on that. We're going to lose out on this Silk Road trade deal. We're going to lose out on the Paris Accord improvements that we can make for renewable energy. All the other countries' leaders are kind of going against what we're doing, so that could be more trade deals in the future that we're going to miss out on. So there's a lot of issues with trade that I'm concerned with, and the whole America First mentality. We live in a global society now. It's not 1950 or whatever, when it was just the United States. We can't go it alone. We've come too far and done too much to just go back to zero. To just go back to an isolated country that only does trade within itself. There's other countries that have resources that we need that are a lot cheaper to get. They make products that are a lot cheaper for us to buy. They have technology that we don't have that we could utilize in what we create. And now we're just like slowly pulling away from all that. So that's a huge concern of mine. But that's going forward in the future. That's going to be a little ways. But in the meantime, I think gold's definitely going to be in play. The more the market is showing results of that, the more I think that Bitcoin is going to go up and gold's going to go up. So just look for those two if you're either invested in either of them. But Bitcoin is going up. It's kind of expensive to buy it now. You still buy fractional shares, but it just keeps running up. And just when there's more and more news like this, it's only going to make it go up even higher. But anyway, I just wanted to cover some of that stuff in the video. So hope you all have a good rest of your weekend and enjoy everything. If you have any questions, as always, let me know. I will start doing more videos on my trading. So if you guys have any questions, content, criticism, suggestions, whatever, feel free to let me know. And if it's anything that I could share with other people to help them out, that'd be greatly appreciated. As always, help me out, click like and subscribe, share the video, and I hope you all enjoy yourselves and have a good weekend.